Hey everybody, welcome back to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Y'all know how to help me down below. You might be looking at this video, you might have clicked on this video, and you might be saying, Ben, I thought you loved indie. Benjamin, what are you doing? I thought you weren't going to do any more top 10 lists. And I am going to do them here and there, but this is an unconventional list. Not only is this list quite available and approachable, $50 or less, some of them quite under 50, some of them, kind of closer to, the $30 range. I wanted to put this list out there because I do think that a lot of people need to know, or may perhaps want to know, what are some interesting fragrances that aren't going to hurt the budget, less than 100, less than 70 or 80 or whatever. These are 50 or less, and they're really going to stand up to the cold. So some of these are my best pickups of the year. Some of these are my favorite winter fragrances, and this list is going to be quite different from anything out there that you would see top 10 list wise, etc. So let's jump into this list. Let's not waste any time. The first one is none other than Ferragamo MO Signature. Now this does have some of the classic DNA of the original. It has a little bit of that tiramisu, almost like coconutty cake vibe. It still has some of the sweetness of the original. If you're a younger guy, if the sweetness does not bother you, you certainly might want to go for the original or Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. But this one takes a little bit of the sweetness away. It adds a really understated, really kind of classy coffee note. This fragrance has a little bit of smooth leather added. And overall, this fragrance is much more professional. It's much more safe. It's kind of like one of those professional fragrances with a soft side, with a playful side. It's very nice for perhaps more a little bit of a mature man who wants a very playful, well-rounded, more modern fragrance. So it's very sensible. It's very wearable. It's a great fragrance for around the $30 range. And I'm very happy that I picked this one up. I actually kind of like this more than my Givenchy Play Intense, which is getting hard to find, discontinued, and the prices are rising on that one. So if you do love Givenchy Play Intense, if you do want a, modern, kind of approachable, easy to wear coffee fragrance, you might want to be looking at, Ferragamo MO Signature. So let's reach to the next one. Guys, this some of y'all I think is considered a niche, but this is affordable through and through. This is Timbuktu by Les Artisans. Light Artisan Parfumeur is an amazing brand. I really encourage y'all to get out there and try them, especially on the gray market. Some of them are criminally underpriced, for the value and the quality for what they are. Timbuktu is one of those that you can get a 30 mil for about 30 bucks, or sometimes about a 50 mil for about 50 bucks if you find it at the right places. This is for you guys who love vetiver, you love resinous fragrances, you love frankincense and those kinds of things. This is a gorgeous fragrance. This smells like Africa. It was inspired by Africa incense ceremonies where they would perfume their clothes. So this fragrance smells very interesting, very exotic. You can smell niche on a budget. You can smell original. You can smell very high quality for not, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to smell exotic, high quality fragrances. And this is one of them, guys. So if you like resinous fragrances, if you like Amouage Jubilation, if you like that kind of resinous quality, maybe you wanted something maybe a little bit better than, Bentley, Man Intense. Bentley Intense, I think that this one is much more of an artistic fragrance, but it's still very wearable, very interesting, and the spices to me are to die for. If you're a vetiver lover, if you like resins, this is to die for the quality and the price. Timbuktu is simply one of the best on the market, just like Encre Noir is, for, dark, inky vetiver style fragrances. So please give this one a chance. Please check this out. The resins do have a tiny bit of sweetness, but this is not an overtly modern fragrance. If you're looking for just designer, easygoing fragrances. Anyways, that is one of my favorites in my collection. One of my favorite vetivers, no doubt about it, hands down in my collection. The next one is Bulgari's Man in Black. Now, I've talked about this quite a bit on my channel. This one doesn't get a lot of talk and it doesn't get a lot of love for some odd reason. This is quite the good fragrance and it is a very good performer. I don't know if I would say it's beast mode, but it's very close to being a beast mode fragrance. Strong performer, stands up to the cold very well. A beautiful fragrance, a lot of cardamom in the beginning. This stuff projects very heavily off your skin for the first 2 hours, and then it really lasts, 7, 8, maybe plus hours, depending on how much you spray. So, hands down, a very good spicy fragrance. It does have a little bit of tonka to the dry down. It does have a modern, almost fougere like quality in the dry down, but it's nothing like maybe a vintage fougere. This is a very modern take on that kind of feeling of a fragrance. It smells like a refined, classy gentleman with some rose kind of nuances, some floral nuances, and then those perhaps a little bit more sweet nuances in the dry down. So, deep florals, beautiful, beautiful like nuances of that. The deep dark sweetness, a little bit of that going on in the dry down, and a beautiful fresh spicy top. So you're getting a lot going into this fragrance. It changes. It's dynamic. It has complexity. Give this one a chance. I don't think you'd be disappointed as a gentleman out there if you want a good winter fragrance. Now, the Timbuktu can be unisex. Perhaps it leans a little bit masculine. I mentioned before, this is one of the ones that is truly unisex here. This is a vanilla kind of clove spiced fragrance. There's definitely a very interesting cinnamon quality. The clove in this fragrance is my favorite clove fragrance I think I've ever smelled. The clove in here is beautiful and it's well done. It's a beautiful, beautiful, spicy, musky vanilla fragrance. Hands down, one of the best values in my collection, one of the best fragrances in my collection. And I'm amazed that you can get a 50 mil for about $50 or less, depending on where you go. So, Maharis by Erbolario. I don't know how to say it. This comes out of Italy. Please forgive me for my lack of pronunciation. Anyways, a gorgeous fragrance for the money. If you like vanilla, if you like spices, if you've been wanting a spicy vanilla fragrance, and if you don't mind clove too much. And trust me, I am sensitive to clove. I usually have a hard time with clove. This one does it right, and I am able to wear this one, but it's about the most clove I think I could ever take in a fragrance. This one is often compared to Muscat Vigueur, and for the money, and especially for the wearability and how good this fragrance smells, I definitely would be looking towards this one. Maharis is a gorgeous fragrance. The next one I want to talk about is none other than Rhyolite by Happyland. Now, this one swept me off my feet. This one blew me away. For a big niche head, this fragrance might not have a lot of complexity, but there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of things to really detect in this fragrance. There's white musk, there's almond, there's nutty nuances, there's caramel nuances, there's vanilla, there's interesting tang to the sweetness from blueberry. This, again, is a truly unisex fragrance. Ladies, you can rock this and you could wear this. It's a very comforting holiday fragrance. I love my sweet fragrances, some of them. My gourmand fragrances I do like. I wouldn't say that this is completely a gourmand, but it certainly does lean in that direction. A gorgeous fragrance. Some people say they get a smokiness out of this. Perhaps it does have a little bit of an incense smell to it, but it's very wearable, it's very modern, it's very approachable, and I wouldn't be scared away of this if you've ever heard that there's smoke in this fragrance. So Happyland Rhyolite was sent to me, but I'm very happy to have it in my collection, and I certainly do recommend this one if those notes sound good to you. And if that Guerlain Homme ideal, dries up, if that does happen, for the price, I don't think Rhyolite can be beat. So the next one I want to talk to y'all about, and I was very happily surprised about this one as well, was Louis Cardon Sacred. Another fragrance that is from a kind of an upcoming brand, a brand that doesn't have a lot of distribution and not a lot of people know about it, at least in the West and the USA. Louis Cardon Sacred is one of the best, perhaps the best vanilla fragrance on the market for the price. You can sometimes find this closer to $30, $40-ish range for a full-size, 100 ml bottle. Oh my goodness. This fragrance can't be beat for that. This has dark, full, ambery kinds of qualities. It almost has a kind of thick chocolatey, almost a patchouli vibe to it. It's a gorgeous fragrance with a lot of tonka, a lot of vanilla, and chocolatey nuances. So this one is very wearable. I think the amber, the black amber, and the musk out of this fragrance really makes this an interesting fragrance. You don't see a lot of heavy amber and heavy musk added to a more gourmand style fragrance. So it has some darkness, but it has some sweetness and a little bit of playfulness. And it's really well done. It's really well blended. I usually have a hard time with vanilla. Maharis is perhaps the most vanillic fragrance I can ever wear. This is probably the second most vanillic fragrance I can ever wear. And this made me a true believer in the power of vanilla, because if you like dark black vanilla, if you like that kind of vibe, this is going to be, a dream come true. This, and if you like amber, my goodness, this is definitely wearable, easy on the nose, but yet is very interesting. So check this one out if that sounds interesting to you. Let the magic unfold. Give this one a chance. Louis Cardon Sacred, one of my favorite pickups of the year, no doubt about it. Okay, guys, we're jumping to kind of the end of the video. Please, if you like my content, if you've stuck around, please support me down below. Y'all know how to do that. Let's jump to the next one. This one is called 24 Gold Oud, the Oud edition, the flanker of 24 Gold. Now, this fragrance is not for everybody. This is a oud fragrance, but this is not a scary oud fragrance. This is a wearable from more of a designer brand kind of oud. Very wearable. More sweet, more gourmand on a take of a fragrance. I really do love this fragrance. There's a intensity behind this fragrance, something that is kind of almost slightly coffee-ish and slightly tobacco-ish. Quite a gorgeous fragrance, I must say. The original is even sweeter. Some say that, perhaps it's even louder, but this one performs. This is a very good performing fragrance. It lasts and lasts and lasts. It's an excellent value for your money. It smells like a gorgeous, very wearable oud. If you like those Kalimat style fragrances, you really got to give the oud edition a chance. This is one of the most wearable ouds, one of the sweetest and best performing ouds for the value for the money, no doubt about it. I wish I would have bought the bigger size bottle, and I mean that. I completely mean it. It's a great fragrance. 24 Gold Oud Edition is a great fragrance. Now we're going to jump to the House of Sensual Obsessions. Now, this is a bit of a clone house, but they resurrected a fragrance, and when a clone house does that, I am always very happy to see or excited to see if they did a good job. And I am excited to tell you today that they did a wonderful job with bringing back Andy Warhol by Bond Number 9. If you want a vintage bottle with, Andy Warhol's face on it, the real purple bottle, the presentation bottle, people will charge you $500 if you can even find the bottle, if you can even find it. They bring this fragrance back. You can get a full-size bottle for like $40 or less, and it smells gorgeous. You did a very good blend. You're getting chocolate, a very interesting, almost dry chocolate, a beautiful dark plum, a lot of tonka, a lot of sweetness, very well blended and smooth. This is a fragrance out of this bunch that perhaps is a little bit more linear. This one doesn't change as much as perhaps some of the others, but it's very wearable. This actually gets me a lot more compliments than I ever thought possible. And it's a really good fragrance for the money. It's coming out of this brand with these bottles. Some of y'all might not like the presentation, but trust me, the juice inside, this is one of the best, if not the best, from the collection. So I'm going to give it its just due. This was a surprise. Trust me, I didn't know what I was going to think. I didn't know, with my expectation when I got these, I didn't know what I was going to think of them. And I was blown away by Andy Warhol, and other reviewers have put the word out and talked about how good this one is for a reason, for the value, for the money. I mean, Andy Warhol is really hard to beat. So give this one a chance if you like those sweeter fragrances. If you like plum in a fragrance, one of the best for the money. Okay, so guys, the next one is Belayered Dark Temptation. Now, I had to bring this one out here for y'all. This one is unisex as well. A gorgeous take on kind of oud bouquet. Now, if you don't know oud bouquet, definitely check it out. It's one of the best, kind of somewhat accessible, wearable, interesting oud floral combos that has some earthiness to it. It's a really good fragrance. This one adds a little bit of chocolate, and this one you can get it, about 50 mils for about $50. So excellent value for money, has great performance, is very wearable. This is a more wearable, more sweet, perhaps even more modern, I guess you could even say, version of Oud Bouquet. So Oud Bouquet is great, nothing against it, very good, very well done fragrance. But you sometimes do wish that there was something a little bit extra, and the way they mix the chocolate in here is the right, I think, the right direction and the right way to go. Which just was such a good fragrance that was already kind of a almost a winter exclusive fragrance in my opinion. So excellent fragrance, well done, well blended. If you like florals, if you like oud, if you like floral oud combinations and earthy kind of nuances in a fragrance and you want it wearable, again, and if you like chocolate, you've got to try that one out. It's very seductive and it's very well done. So the last fragrance I want to share with y'all today is none other than Layton, not Parfums de Marly, even though it's a great fragrance. That one is not in the $50 range. This is Zoha's take, an inspired oil by Layton. Now, why I share this with y'all is because I do want to give a little bit more attention to oils. They're very easy to layer. They're very, user friendly to keep in your pocket to bring around with you, to give you a little bit of that longer longevity. If you're really an 8-hour guy or an 8-hour lady, 8-hour person with fragrances, your oils might just help you, get to that magic number, help you so you really don't have to reapply through the day or really worry, where did my fragrance go? So this one, Layton, does a very good job of copying that fragrance. Layton is really liked in the fragrance community. It's a great, kind of a first step into niche. It's very wearable. It's a big compliment getter, and it's quite a good fragrance overall. This one just makes it affordable. These are about $20 or so for one of their bigger oils. Y'all can get. It smells just like it. It does a very good job. Zoha did a wonderful job, and I love layering this with other, dark, complex fragrances, and seeing what it can do. And if I want to be subtle, if I want to be really inoffensive, maybe I just use a little bit of this when I want to wear a winter fragrance, perhaps indoors. That's the power of a good oil fragrance. It's a very good addition to anybody's collection, I think. So let me know did any of these fragrances stand out? Do any of these sound interesting? Have you heard of these before? What do you think about these? Do you think that these are some of the best winter fragrances of 2019? Did you like my unconventional list? Do you like my content? Let me know everything down below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's get that conversation started. I truly, love all of y'all who stop by, all of y'all I get to know, and all of the friends that are a part of the Scentstory fragrance family. If you want to connect with me more, connect with me on Instagram, Scentstory_fragrance. On Facebook, I do have a Facebook, Scentstory Fragrance, and a wonderful Facebook family group called Scentstory Fragrance Family. You can see there, request to join, and I'll definitely be adding y'all and seeing y'all in the future. So thank y'all so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed my list. Let me know what you're going to be wearing this winter down below. And I hope that y'all have fantastic holidays. I hope that y'all all do well. I hope that you're safe. And I hope that you take it easy. Don't stress out during the holidays. Make it a happy, joyful time and spend and do those things that bring you joy this holiday season. And I'll see you next time. This has been the Scentstory Fragrance Channel. Peace out. Have a good one. And bye.